Hello, hello. Everyone hear me? Awesome. So thank you for joining in with us both virtually and in person today for the 2025 Undergraduate Research Awards recognition event. Before we begin, we are going to start by acknowledging the lands and people of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation. We are thankful to be welcomed on these lands in friendship. The lands we are situated on are covered under the Williams Treaties and the traditional territory of the Mississaugas, a branch of the Greater Anishinaabe Nation, including Algonquin, Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. These lands remain home to a number of Indigenous nations and people. We acknowledge this land out of respect for the Indigenous nations who have cared for Turtle Island, also called North America, from before the arrival of settler peoples until this day. Most importantly, we remember that this history of these lands has been tainted by poor treatment and a lack of friendship with the First Nations who call them home. This history is something we are all affected by, as we are all treaty people in Canada. We have a shared history to reflect on, and each of us is affected by this history in different ways. Our past defines our present, but if we move forward as friends and allies, it does not have to define our future. Now, because we have some folks tuning in online with us as well across a variety of cities, we'd also like to encourage everyone to take a moment to acknowledge the land that they are on. As a university community, we are dedicated to continuing to increase our awareness, understanding, and gratitude for the lands we share. So just a moment. Thank you all. So now for introductions, my name's Kate Gambier, and I coordinate the exciting Undergraduate Research Awards program for the Office of Research Services under the Vice President Research and Innovation at Ontario Tech. We're so excited to have you here today, and we have a great event planned for you this morning. We encourage you to share any photos with us and to tag OTVP Research in your posts today on social media. A few first housekeeping items. As a reminder, this event today is being recorded and heavily photographed. And for those online, captions can be enabled using the CC closed caption button on the bottom panel of your screen. If you have any questions throughout, just let us know in the chat as well, and someone will help you out. So let's get into our program for today. This event gives us the opportunity to celebrate our absolutely exceptional students and to promote the importance of undergraduate research at our university. I'd like to pay a special welcome to our guests in attendance today, including esteemed deans from across the university, staff members from the Office of the Vice President, Research and Innovation, and the Office of Research Services, as well as other departments, faculty members, project supervisors, and our industry representatives, our guest speakers, down here, woohoo, and around there, and of course, our Undergraduate Research Award recipients, so all of you. The 2025 URA competition was incredibly strong, and there were so many deserving applicants across all of the faculties. So congratulations to every single one of you for receiving an award. Today is the celebration of your contributions to research and on your educational journey. Your work over these past few months has made a huge contribution to the research enterprise at Ontario Tech, and your efforts are inspirational to our entire community. So now I'd like to welcome Les Jacobs, Vice President, Research and Innovation, to provide some welcoming greetings to all of you. And Les is joining us virtually today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you to all of the RS staff for the tremendous effort in the background to organize this event. I wish I was there in person, so my apologies for not being there in person. But the significance of undergraduate research opportunities for Canadian university students is difficult to overstate. I suspect that every single one of the faculty members who are in attendance had some important experience as an undergraduate with research that motivated them in part to become professors in due course. And it really is an important, unique opportunity. It happens typically, and in obviously this particular case, outside of traditional academic programming. And here at Ontario Tech, it is something that we really lean into. We've continued to grow significantly the funded opportunities for our undergraduates, and we see it as one of the real differentiators for our university when undergraduate students come to Ontario Tech and they're interested in funded research opportunities, we very much strive to provide those opportunities. So it really is on brand for Ontario Tech. And I would say too that traditionally at many other universities, these opportunities were predominantly in STEM disciplines. Here at Ontario Tech, we really have strived to make sure that they are available to students no matter what their home faculty is. It really reflects that, in our view, uh, every undergraduate student should have this kind of opportunity. Um, the substance of my comments are really to express that all of this only happens because our faculty really take on a mentoring and leadership role. Individuals really are providing that kind of leadership. Postdocs and graduate students in their labs are supporting this infrastructure, and that's a crucial piece of it. The unique opportunity to get the kind of mentoring that our graduate research opportunities in the summers provide is really significant. So I want to thank all of those people who provided those support. And then my last sort of comment is really a heartwarming congratulations to all of you for having been awarded this highly competitive opportunity, and secondly, as the summer is winding down, your successful completion of those opportunities. And I'm very confident, as I said at the beginning, that when you look back in 5-10 years, these opportunities are really important parts of shaping your educational experience and learning experiences at Ontario Tech. It really is a very effective way to scaffold the kind of learning that you get in your academic programming. So congratulations, and again, my heart thanks to everyone who has put this event together, but even more significantly, all of the faculty, postdocs, and graduate students who have also made this entire program work. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Les, for those greetings. And we're now going to call upon Jennifer Freeman, Executive Director, Office of Research Services, to offer congratulations to our attendees today.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. It is fantastic that we're in air conditioning, considering it's another hot one out there, nice and humid. Anyway, my name is Jennifer Freeman, and I am the Executive Director for the Office of Research Services, and I also have a dual role as the Interim Executive Director for the Automotive Center of Excellence, known as ACE. I'm pleased to welcome you here today for the Undergraduate Research Awards at Ontario Tech. It's great to see such a range of attendees here today. We have students, we have faculty, we have research staff and alumni, and we would like to pay special thanks to welcome all of our external guests here today. And it really is a great opportunity for you to network across the student base, meet with your colleagues, talk with faculty members, talk with everybody here today. It is really a great opportunity to network. It's hard to believe that it's been well over 19 years since we started this. And if you have been here, like I have for 20 years, you would know the fun fact that this event actually started with the Faculty of Science. It was a really tiny number of students that were engaged in undergraduate student research, and now it's grown to across all of our faculties and a significant amount of students participating, which is exciting. As Les said, it's a great opportunity to learn, to have experiential learning, and all the other things that go with it. So we take great pride in the responsibility in providing opportunities for our students, including all of the Undergraduate Student Research Award recipients here today, with the skills and critical knowledge necessary to meet the needs of the workforce, enabling them to become the next generation of innovative leaders, which is you, all here in the room, which is exciting, and online. Undergraduate research has become a key research enterprise and experiential learning opportunities for us here at Ontario Tech. Today, we are here to celebrate the talent, all of you, and the deserving Undergraduate Research Award recipients. The USRAs are funded by several sponsors, and we really appreciate them. So one is the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. The other one is the Social Science and Humanities Research Council of Canada, as well as the Canadian Institutes of Health Research Undergraduate Student Research Awards program. So we're very thankful to our sponsors, and just maybe give them a round of applause. We also have the STAR Awards, and the STAR Awards are sponsored by the Office of the Vice President Research, and these are the Student Training Assistantship and Research Program. And we've been running this for many years now, and we continue to try to increase the number of awards available through that. So we're very excited here today to celebrate all those different awards, and we really appreciate, again, our sponsors who help us administer the programs. The awards, we'd also like to give a big shout out to all of the supervisors. So if you can wave if you're here or online. We really thank our talented faculty members from all across the university who can conduct leading edge research and provide opportunities for the undergraduate student research to apply their academic learning. We thank each faculty member, project supervisor for their participation in the program and their continued support to research at Ontario Tech. Without them, this program would not exist. Without the students, it would also not exist. So it is a really good team effort to bring this together. This year, we had nearly 165 applicants in the USRA program. It continues to increase, which is exciting to see the interest. Through the rigorous awards program, this year, we are celebrating 42 award recipients for the STAR, the NSERC USRA, the CIHA USRA, and the SSHRC USRA today. Each of you participated, hopefully, in 14 to 16 weeks of research, and we had students exploring research in a variety of areas, from examining dishonesty in siblings, which I would love to know the outcome of that since I have kids and anybody else that does, to experimental flow control and aerospace applications, from exploring virtual reality for use of persons with dementia, to decommissioning modeling of nuclear civil structures, and everything in between. So it's exciting to see the broad array of research that has occurred, and the videos, I think, are also a testament of that. We hope that this opportunity has encouraged you to further develop your research and abilities and inspired you for future careers, or maybe grad studies. That would be exciting too. So please join everybody in a round of applause to congratulate yourselves and your colleagues and everybody that's involved. So now I have the great honor of introducing our guest speaker. We have Keisha Dirja, and it's absolutely incredible, the journey that she has been with here today. Keisha is an exceptional individual whose journey with Ontario Tech began as an Undergraduate Research Award recipient in 2018. With her project titled Tale of Two-Year Initial Teacher Education Program, Investigating Self-Efficacy Development of Teacher Candidates. This early research experience helped lay the foundation for her continued academic and professional success. Keisha is currently a PhD student in the Faculty of Science at Ontario Tech University, where her research focuses on non-lethal approaches to fish research in support of community-based science. Her work not only advances her field, but also reflects her deep commitment to ethical research methods and meaningful scientific impact. Over the course of her academic career, Keisha has been recognized for numerous prestigious awards. She received the President's Award of Excellence in Student Leadership in September 2019, the Teaching Assistant Student Choice Award in May 2021, and the Robert Dower Norris Pritchard Award in November 2023, and most recently, the Tim McTiernan Student Mentorship Award in March 2025. I'm out of breath from all the awards. That's quite the resume. She is also a two-time Ontario Graduate Scholarship recipient in both 2024 and 2025, and an honor that underscores the academic excellence and the research contributions. So congratulations on all those distinctions. Keisha's commitment to leadership and advocacy is equally impressive. She served as a student representative on the advisory committee of the Student Sexual Violence Prevention and Support from 2021 to 2022, contributing her voice to important conversations on campus safety and support. She has also been an active member of the Women in Research Council, championing the advancement of women in STEM, and worked as an equity ambassador for decolonization and anti-racism, promoting inclusivity and systematic change within the academic and research spaces. So we thank you for your leadership on those committees as well. Her passion for education extends well beyond the lab. As a STEM educator on Ontario Tech, Keisha inspires students from all ages to explore science and curiosity, integrity, and confidence. Through her teaching, mentorship, and advocacy, she has encouraged the next generation of scientists to approach her work with both excellence and empathy, which is an excellent combination. Thank you, Keisha, for being here today and for your continued commitment to research, leadership, and Ontario Tech community. After Keisha has spoken, we will open it up for Q&A if anyone has any questions for her. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Keisha.
All right, let me just get my timer set up because I tend to blab. All right, okay, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. Yes, thumbs up. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for that introduction. As you were saying all of that, I was like, oh my God, who's that girl? Because it definitely doesn't sound like me. Then again, that is probably just a bit of the imposter syndrome that maybe you all felt throughout your time as URA recipients as you were working on your projects this summer. So first of all, I wanted to say congratulations to all of you for your hard work. I remember when I was in your shoes many years ago, and as daunting and scary as it was to dive into research I'm familiar with, it was also really rewarding and has definitely, as mentioned, shaped my outlook and my, curiosities and has really shaped my career in research so far. So I hope at the very least you had a good time. I hope that you learned a lot, and I hope that as you are wrapping up or have wrapped up your projects that you also take some super important to do. All right, so again, as I mentioned, I dealt with a little bit of imposter syndrome after being asked to give this speech because again, I feel like a baby. I feel like I definitely am not qualified to be giving tips and tricks to up and coming researchers. But when I started to put my presentation together and I looked at my timeline of being here at Ontario Tech, I realized I've been in school a long time. Since 2011, I've got a bit of a timeline of my accomplishments so far. I started here in 2011 with my bachelor's degree, graduated from that in 2015, then I did another degree 2016, 2018, 22, 24, which now brings me to my position as PhD candidate. All of the kind of times you see highlighted are times in that extensive time here at Ontario Tech that I actually had the opportunity to engage in research. I think after almost 10 years of research experience that I might actually have a point or two that might be a little bit useful to you. And I hope that I can convey them coherently in this presentation. So, okay, this is me. This is my face. Again, my name is Keisha. Currently, I'm a PhD candidate in the Aquatic Omics Lab. Also as the fish lab in the basement of UA. I see a cheer back there, yeah. And back there, yeah. So if ever you want a tour of the lab, find me. We're very friendly. We can definitely set that up, please. But I'm also a lot of other things too. So I have some pictures up on the screen to kind of represent who I am. I'm a firstborn daughter to an immigrant Guyanese family. I am an avid outdoorsy person, despite the colorful dress I have on today, and grew up fishing, which definitely shapes my career now as a fish researcher. I was born in Canada. I'm the first generation in my family to be born here, and definitely part of my research journey is being able to make use of the privileges I've been granted as being a Canadian citizen. And those research experiences also being very uniquely shaped by my Indo-Guyanese. I am a queer person. I am very happy with my partner. And this was kind of like the basis of my identity as I entered into my current role as a PhD candidate. Next. So over the years, my identity has shifted. It's shifted It's grown as I have gained new experiences in life, as I've met new people in my life, as I've traveled the world. And the reason why I'm talking about identity right now is because all of these pieces of my identity are super important to the research that I do. And I hope that you can take from that who you are and the identities that you have and the ways that will develop as you maybe pursue a career in research will also inform the research that you do. So kind of what I should have started by saying is I've kind of framed this presentation in lessons that I pass on to you all. So sorry, backtracking a little bit. But lesson 1, you are more than your research. As I demonstrated, I have a very diverse, complex, intersecting identity, and that is a beautiful thing about me. That's a beautiful thing about all of you. And should you choose a career in research, it is super important that you understand that you are more than your research. Research requires a certain amount of passion, yes, definitely a certain amount of dedication. And it is very easy for that research to become all-encompassing, for it to become your entire identity. And obviously that's a good thing because we need that passion, we need that drive, and we want to be able to see ourselves in our research. But it's super important to remember that you still have value outside research. That's super important to remember, especially in the times of challenges, the times of failure, that just because you're experiencing a setback doesn't actually mean anything about your value as an individual or your value as a researcher. Failure is just part of the process. So I'll move on to kind of the next stage in my career. And I'll give a little bit more of a context about kind of the layout of this presentation, which again, should have started with, but I'm growing a tiny human and it's taking all of the energy and competence out of my brain. But when I was thinking of coming up with this presentation, I was initially going to give you a set of reasons as to why you should research. But I realized that's a really uniquely personal thing to each individual person. And I recognize that maybe not everybody wants to go into research. Really okay. So instead of trying to convince you that you should go into research or you should go into research, I thought I would just give you a bunch of lessons that I've had to learn kind of the hard way, in hopes that it would resonate with you in some way, whether or not you decide to pursue a career in research. Obviously, everything I will present to you today is within the context of research. And I hope that you do, because it's a cool place to be. But just some insights that, again, I had to learn kind of, and through my challenges, through my failures. So hopefully you can take some of what I'm sharing with you today to maybe prevent you from making the same mistakes I made, or at the very least allowing you to bounce back from them, because they are unfortunately or fortunately inevitable. All right, so to kind of go through these lessons, I thought I would go through my educational career. From 2011 to 2015, as I mentioned, I was enrolled in my Bachelor of Science, and my major was in biological science, life sciences, and then I also did minors in chemistry and math, so I'm a big old nerd. And before I actually received the URA later on, I actually had the opportunity to work with Dr. Janice Strapp, who's in the room today. And I did a 4th-year thesis with her. And this was kind of, well, this was my very first introduction to working in a real lab. And I got to work with real bacteria, and I got to learn petri dishes, and I got to learn how to incubate. Cool. And for me in particular, this was really refreshing because at the time, as I was going through my undergraduate degree, I was dealing with a lot. I was a first-generation student. So, my parents, bless them for everything that they did provide. They couldn't actually provide a lot in the way of academic capital. They had never done this before. Nobody in my family's ever done this before. So I kind of showed up one day at Ontario Tech back then, which was called UOIT, and I just kind of went where they told me to go and did what they told me to do, and I didn't actually do a very good job. Unbeknownst to me, I was dealing with an undiagnosed learning disability. I was dealing with the consequences of some capital T trauma that I had been dealing with. And I also started to develop some pretty serious mental health issues. So despite having this really, really cool experience, I was still feeling very stuck and very scared. I was also being faced with the fact that my lifelong dream of being a physician was likely not going to be possible because my grades that were 95s in high school dropped way down to 60s and 70s when I started at university. So I was definitely in a bit of a crisis, which leads me to my second list, is that sometimes life's timing just sucks. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it, especially when you have a complex, multi-layered, intersectional, beautiful identity. You might have various aspects of your life that have to take priority in certain times, and it's not always going to abide by your academic or your research. That's okay, because even though this time of my life was really, really bad, there were still things that I was able to pull from it, like this experience that I had in Dr. Strapp's lab, where I experienced for the first time something that was fulfilling and something that was very interesting to me, and also something that I was able to get an A+ in purely because I had curiosity. So as hard as it can be to deal with not being in control of certain aspects of your life at all times, it's all good. Sometimes you need time to pass, and school research will always be here. So you can always come back, kind of like I did. All right, so like I said, I was lost. I had no direction. I wrote my MCAT. I did okay, but I knew I wasn't going to get into any med school with the grades that I had. I graduated. I took a summer and went and learned French in a small city in Quebec. And when I was there, I met a bunch of people who knew exactly what they wanted to do with their lives, and they were doing it. So naturally, I came back to Ontario, and I panic enrolled in a one-year program at Durham in environmental technology. Now, it was very different from university. Because it was an advanced college diploma, I was doing 7 courses at once for 2 semesters. It was insane. I also took on a role as a research academic leader at the Simcoe Village residence on campus. And I was also doing a practicum at Durham College's Office of Sustainability. So there was a lot happening. And again, this was something I did surely out of fear and out of panic, and again, not knowing what I wanted to do. I felt it was better to do something. Given the nature of the program and the nature of the institution, there weren't any research opportunities. So again, I found myself in this classroom kind of setup, which again is important in certain aspects of your life, but I was hanging on to that experience that I had in Dr. Strapp's lab, where I was actually able to do something that was interesting to me. I was able to take the reins, and I didn't have to sit down in a classroom to do it. So I very much felt like after this year and after achieving this Ontario College Advanced Diploma, that I very much wasted not only a year of my life, but $16,000. And with time, I've come to learn that time spent learning is not wasted. It's never wasted. Maybe there are better ways to do it other than spending $16,000 of your parents' money to panic enroll to do that learning. And of course, learning happens in more than just classroom settings. So definitely advise you not to do that. But at the time, again, what I didn't know is everything that I was learning, whether it be in the context of environmental technology or in the context of this new role as educator that I received when I started working as the resident academic leader, would come back around again full circle and be very, very important to the position that I'm in now. Next slide. Okay, so like I said, I did a French immersion program the summer before enrolling at Durham College, and really enjoyed that. And that French immersion program had a sister program where instead of going to learn French, you could go somewhere for a year and you could help support English language learning in a small francophone city. So again, still being in a position of knowing nothing about what I wanted for my future, my career, I decided to apply for that, and I was accepted. My partner also applied, was accepted. So we moved out to the North Shore of the St. Lawrence River in Quebec, and we worked there for a year. This, again, very different pace from everything that I had experienced so far, where I was able to work like more of a 9 to 5. I actually got paid a decent amount, and I was able to just travel and find myself. And as cheesy as that sounds, I really do think it's super important to do in your 20s. And I got to travel all over Quebec, all over New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI. We got to travel to Scotland and England with my partner's school that he was working with. So this leads me to my next lesson, which is that rest is productive. Whether it be for a weekend, whether you take 2 weeks off, a month off in the summer, whether you take a whole year off to just breathe, that is good. It's actually mandatory. And if you don't take rest, your body will find a way to make you rest. As somebody who has been struggling with chronic illness for the past couple of years, I've learned that the hard way. So again, whether you choose a career in research, industry, government, not-for-profits, researchers tend to be overworked. Please, 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 nothing is worth your health. And ultimately, you can't be the best researcher, career person, whoever you are, without being in the best health of your life, mentally as well as physically. Next. Okay, so I took a year off. And again, I mentioned I was supporting English language learning in a francophone community. And again, I was in this position of like educator and mentor. And until this moment in my life, I never saw myself as an educator. I actually thought that I would be probably the worst teacher in the world because I don't always have the best patience, which is something that is definitely required for educators. But I was getting this strong inkling that I might, one, kind of be like good at teaching, as well as I kind of really enjoyed it, which was a surprise to me. And again, still not knowing concretely what I wanted to do, I decided again to enroll in another program, this time my Bachelor of Education, again, back here at Ontario Tech. So from 2017 to 2018, I worked on gaining qualifications for senior or intermediate and senior level biology and mathematics. And this is where I had the opportunity to work under the supervision of Dr. Diana Petrarca through an Undergraduate Research Award on a project that was very much outside of the skill set I had at the time. Again, formal education in Western science. Now I'm in this education context, and Diana was like, let's do qualitative research. Let's do like mixed methods. Let's survey people. Let's, do things that aren't bacteria. And I was very, very, very confused by that. I was very unsure in my ability to do that. And I didn't actually know if I would enjoy it. But I decided to take a chance because Dr. Petrarca took a chance on me. It was completely, I don't want to say completely out of the blue because I had a very close relationship with her as a professor in the Faculty of Education, but it was because of her that I learned about this opportunity, and it was because she approached me and said, hey, I like the way you think. I think you might be good at this. What do you say you give it a shot? And because she took that chance on me, I decided to say, okay, let's take a chance on myself as well, which takes me to my next lesson, is that in research, your relationship with your mentor is more important than you think. And this was proven not just working with Dr. Petrarca, but also working with other faculty members in the Faculty of Education, working with my current supervisor. That relationship that I have have with these individuals has actually been more important to me, I think, than anything, because these people, as the experts in their field, and also the people you look up to, can make or break whether or not you believe in yourself, can make or break whether or not you are successful. Obviously, I'm not saying that, if you have a bad supervisor, woe is me. No, we're still adults. We still take responsibility for our responsibilities. But I found that the support and the belief that Dr. Pacharka put in me is something, again, that was very formative to my identity. Again, your identity is very important as a researcher. And it really shifted my understanding of education or academia as a whole, because what I had experienced up until that point, being in a classroom setting, was, you show up, you do the work. If you get a good grade, you're a good student. If you're a bad student, or if you get a bad grade, you're a bad student. She helped reframe that for me as, I'm still in a position of learning, whether it be in the classroom or whether it be in a research setting. I've never done this before. And instead of approaching me as somebody who had to show up and be perfect, she helped me understand that it's okay to be learning. And actually, you should always be learning, even when you're a full-time professor. Even when you're 80 years old and you've had all the experiences of a lifetime, that lifelong learning mentality that is so important to any position, not just research, is something that I learned through that positive relationship I had with my mentor. So definitely, if you do consider pursuing research, deeply, deeply consider who it is you are going to spend many, many years with. Next. All right, I see I've reached 20 minutes, but I'll try to wrap this up. All right, so this brings me to doing my Master of Arts in Education. Now, again, a Master of Arts, again, very different type of research from the research that I'm conducting now, which again is more in a Western science kind of setting. And, the idea of doing a qualitative thesis project, one that was based in, equity and feminist theoretical framings and participatory action research, like all of these things didn't make sense to me at first. But again, it was because of that amazing mentor that I had that taught me, like, no, you're capable. And because of a thing called neuroplasticity, you can actually learn all about social science research, all about educational research, and merge that with the existing research skill set that you have. So again, a little bit of carryover from that previous lesson. But this was a time in my life where I think I have literally, like, what's the saying? Blood, sweat, tears, bled, sweat, and cried the most, because this project was deeply, deeply personal to me, and shaped entirely by my experiences as an Indo-Caribbean woman in STEM. And because I saw a gap there, and because I had the encouragement from previous supervisors, previous mentors, I was able to dedicate 3 years of my life towards working towards this master's degree, which I've been told by several people should have actually been a PhD because it's like 300 pages long. Also, shameless plug, that's the QR code for the link for my thesis. Everybody should scan it and read it because it's amazing. But as amazing as this time in my life was, and as much as this is to this day my proudest accomplishment, this 3 years of my life was probably the toughest ever. Because this was a project that was so personal to me, obviously I had more care in it than I've had probably in anything in my life. But I also faced a lot of challenges, again, coming back to that supervisor kind of relationship. And, I'm not able to speak too candidly about this now, because, I still go here and powers still be at play. And maybe admin or, leaders in this room might want to plug their ears for this next part. But I had a really bad time. I had a really, really bad time. And unfortunately, that is something that is common, it's not an Ontario Tech problem. It's a problem across the board where we see people in power that might not necessarily want to share that power or use that power to mentor somebody or to provide somebody else sponsorship, which I was spending 3 years of my life trying to prove that mentorship and sponsorship are essential, especially for underserved communities, especially in disciplines like STEM. So that leads me to my next lesson. As difficult as it was for me to not have to sell my soul to be successful as a researcher in this capacity, I didn't. I didn't think that I should have to give up my values. I didn't think that I should have to disrespect my own boundaries that I had towards my career. I still wanted to be able to spend time with my family. I still wanted to be able to spend time with my friends, still wanted to be able to prioritize my mental and physical health. And it provided a lot of challenges, but it was possible. And I was very uniquely positioned that I had mentors on my side that were able to kind of rescue me from a research situation or two that I didn't want to be in. But I'm here to tell you that it is possible, and it is possible that you may face similar challenges throughout your careers. Again, whether it be in research, whether it be in any other type of work you could possibly do. But again, linking back to your identity, you don't have to give up who you are to achieve somebody else's measure of success. Okay, and I think my final lesson brings us to today. Currently, I'm a PhD candidate. Again, in the aquatic omics lab. This is me dressed as a fish at Science Rendezvous. It is one of our favorite activities to put on every year at Science Rendezvous, so definitely come check it out if you haven't already. And it's taken, like I said, literally about 10 years to get to where I am today, but I'm working on this amazing, amazing project where I get to partner with or my work supports Learning from Lake Sturgeon, which is a co-led research initiative by Moose Cree First Nation and Wildlife Conservation Society Canada. And my research supports them in their monitoring of lake sturgeon, or Nameowak, which is lake sturgeon in the Moose Cree dialect, in the traditional Moose Cree homeland. And there are so many parts of this project, from, you know, not only the science, but as well as the supporting underserved or underrepresented communities in STEM, while I also get to educate people in about science in a way that is fun and is engaging and is outside of academic journals. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for all of those things, but, you know, I'm really getting to bring in my skill sets from education, from the time that I traveled, from my, you know, fun hobby of doing background acting. I get to support Indigenous sovereignty and help build skill sets within communities. Again, getting to engage people that have been largely left out of a lot of really important conversations when it comes to their own resources and when it comes to their own land. And I get to have fun while I do it. And if you had told me that, you know, in 2015, when I was struggling and I didn't even know if I would make it to next year, let alone 10 years from now, that I would be able to have such a fulfilling career finally, I never would have believed you. So that brings me to my last lesson, which is that you can have everything in time. And as somebody who is super duper impatient, believe, you can ask my lab mates, I'm not a patient person. This is probably the hardest thing that I've had to do in my life, is be patient with myself and give myself compassion and give myself grace. Because like I said, I'm always learning. I've never done a PhD before. I don't know how to do this, but that's okay. Because everything will come together in time. Every experience that you thought was a waste, or you thought was never going to be, you know, advantageous to you in any way, does come back around, as long as you give it time and you give yourself the compassion that you deserve. So that being said, I would like to extend the biggest congratulations to all of you. Again, you should be very, very proud of your efforts this summer. I hope that you will all continue along your path in research. And if at any point you want to chat, if you need advice, if you want a tour of the fish lab, let me know, and I hope that I will see you around in the future. Thank you. You want to go to the, yeah. So you can connect with me. My name is just Keisha Diraj on LinkedIn, Instagram, Blue Sky. I don't really use it. I don't know, maybe I should more. email address. And then again, you can follow my lab and you can follow Learning from Lake Sturgeon through those QR codes. And if you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them. Yeah.
For your presentation.
Thank you.
Some questions or comments from a seasoned faculty. And I think, you were able to really capture, I don't want to say the good and the bad and the third one, but I think you were able to really capture the pathway you took and the outcomes for each step you took. So I think, I hope the students here and maybe faculty members, we could feel something about it. And I think, I want to wish you luck in fish tank.
Thank you.
And just to let you know, my husband was one of the first students who worked there many decades ago.
Oh.
He was a student here.
Okay.
When the fish tank was built.
Yeah.
So in 2003. So
Wow.
anyway, so I'm glad to see definitely coming to.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Keisha.
Thank you so
Good luck in
much.
everything you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Spenny.
What would you say has been like the most gratifying moment?
Ooh, the
I'm just gonna
most.
repeat the question. I hope the folks online can hear us, but what is the most gratifying moment of your career? Believe it.
Yeah, most gratifying. I can think of two kind of things. I would say every time I've graduated has been gratifying. Not that the graduation is like the only thing you should celebrate. Definitely celebrate all of your wins along the way. But I am one of the first people and the first woman in my entire lineage to be able to have this privilege of attending post-secondary education. And those days of convocation are kind of like the culmination of every kind of chunk of time that I've spent doing something. So I would say those days in particular stand out to me because it's I see myself as kind of I don't want to cry of everyone who's come before me who's only ever sacrificed and has seen very little in return. If I think of myself as the return on that investment, if you will, and finally being able to have this opportunity and privilege that no one in my family before was able to have is extremely rewarding, and definitely keeps me going. Because if it were up to me, there's been a lot of days where I'm like, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. But it's very easy to keep going when I think of all of those people that came before me. And another more recent kind of moment was just my most recent committee meeting where one of my committee members told me that I had a very uniquely, a beautifully sarcastic approach to my presentations. And I thought that was just really motivating in a weird way because, again, like with everything in life, you feel very pressured to do things a certain way. And I just did it the Keisha way. And my committee really liked it. So, yeah. Thank you for the question.
Any other questions? All right. Well, we just wanted to know, what is your fondest memory of working with students, undergraduates?
Oh my gosh. Undergrad specifically? Undergrad specifically. I would have to say my favorite moments are just getting to know undergrad students. I've mentored a few in the aquatic omics lab so far, and we obviously spend a lot of time doing lab work together. But in the moments between, adding reagents and just letting things incubate for 45 minutes, just sitting and chatting about things that have nothing to do with the project, that's always my favorite thing because, we could talk science all day and I'm not opposed to that. But again, because people are so multifaceted and layered and beautiful, I love to get to know those parts as well because I so strongly believe that who you are informs what you do. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's a cheesy answer, but it's it's my genuine, it's the best thing about working with different people. So.
Last call, any questions?
Yeah. Oh, that was one thing that, I didn't get to cover. Well, I'm having a baby So thank you. And I just said that on a recorded thing. So yeah, I'll be doing that pretty immediately. Not immediately, in like 6 months. But I don't know. I was actually talking to my supervisor about this yesterday. I have so many ideas, and I don't think I have enough years on this planet to do all of the ideas. I'm thinking of maybe doing a postdoc. I have lots of creative ideas that maybe could fit within the context of like a more, again, mixed methods kind of project, or maybe I just say, forget all this and do some STEM entrepreneurial stuff. Who knows? But I'll definitely still be here no matter what. I'm not going anywhere. So I can keep you all posted.
On behalf of everyone attending today, we just wanted to thank you again for your keynote and informative Q&A as well. And as a past recipient of the Undergraduate Research Awards, an esteemed alumna, and now a PhD student, your journey is a powerful example to our campus community. So we really appreciate everything you shared with us today, and also your continued dedication to research and our university. So looking forward to what you accomplish in the future.
Thank you
There
so
go.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you again, Keisha, for that. That was fantastic. And also, Keisha's sticking around for lunch, so if you have any other questions, you can catch her upstairs. So without further ado, we have the presentation of the certificates to our 2025 Undergraduate Research Awards recipients. So I'd first like to welcome Jen back to the front to congratulate our recipients and take photos with them as they receive their certificates. Thank you. Okay, so just a quick housekeeping note for our student award recipients. So certificates are awarded in alphabetical order by your first name. So it will go first by the STAR Award and then all of the USRAs. So if you wish to approach the front of the room to receive your certificate, you're obviously welcome to. You can come down this way here. But if you don't want to, and you're more comfortable staying in your seats, you can always stand up, or you can stay seated and we will applaud you from where you stand. So again, you can begin to approach as you hear your name, get closer. We keep things flowing, and you'll grab your event package here from Uzma and Naima. And you can also take your certificate out if you'd like that in your photo as well. So everyone, please feel free to applaud, cheer throughout as we award these certificates, okay? So this year we had 12 esteemed recipients of the STAR Award, 20 recipients of the NSERC USRA, 1 CHR USRA, and 1 SHRC USRA. So first, we're going to start with our STAR recipients. That's the Student Training Assistantships and Research Awards. So I've worked on my pronunciation, but I apologize in advance. So first, we have Anika Anigeri, Symmetry, Braking, and Solar Magnetohydrodynamics and Electroconvection, supervised by Greg Lewis. Fantastic. Can we get another round of applause for Inka? Fantastic. Thank you all. Next, we have Aero Vagella, Aerodynamics Impacts of Severe Weather Conditions on Autonomous Vehicle Performance, Supervisor Horia Hangen. Next, we have Bohdan Sinitsky, LLM-driven semantic type system, supervised by Ken Poo. Dorothy Sahajwani, language analysis of AI-generated content, supervisor Stephen Jackson. Dewey Fan, Advanced Materials for Electrochemical Energy Storage and Conversion, supervised by Brad Easton. Next, we have Hannah Lywood, Motor Skill Intervention for Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder, a 5-year follow-up supervised by Megan Lloyd. Nahid Alifi, Inclusion, Belonging, and Innovation with Historically Marginalized Women in STEM, supervised by Robin Rittenberg-Rosen. Kritika Gandhi, Inclusion, Belonging, and Innovation with Historically Marginalized Women in STEM, supervised by Robin Rittenberg-Rosen. Sarah Elgazar, Examining the Feasibility, Clinical, and Implementation Outcomes of Using Virtual Reality Reminiscence Therapy for People with Dementia in Long-Term Care, supervised by Winnie Sun. Tan Lam Lei, Interactive 4D Avatars for Games, supervised by Andrew Hogue. Tong Hyun, Multimodal Robots, supervised by Scott Nogleby. And our last star recipient, Tracy McKenzie, Preventing Plagiarism in University, Understanding the Data, supervised by Allison King. All right, so next we have our NSERC USRA recipients. So that's our Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada Undergraduate Student Research Awards. So our NSERC recipients, Alia Mula, The Role of Salinity in Stormwater Pond Community Metabolism, supervised by Andrea Kirkwood. So next we have Gabriella Pami, Examining Dishonesty in Sibling Relationships, supervised by Lindsay Malloy. And Gabriella, I believe you were a SHRC recipient? Yes, okay. So for everyone tuning in online, SHRC is the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council. All right, next we have Melissa Richards, Access to Oncology Care in Rural and Remote Regions, a systematic review with emphasis on older adults, supervised by Manon. And that was our CIHR USRA. Next, we have Tiffany Cox, Inclusion, Belonging, and Innovation with Historically Marginalized Women in STEM, supervised by Robin Rittenberg-Rosen. So Karen Isa, Design of Digital Control Room with Human Factor Considerations for Nuclear Power Plants, supervised by Hosam Gabber. Next, we have Cody Dion, Predicting Radionuclide Distribution in Nuclear Reactor Concrete Using OpenMC, supervised by Glenn Harvell. We have a backup. Awesome. Congratulations. And that's another round of applause for Cody. Thank you. All right, next we have Chloe Bogart, LiDAR-based digital twin development, supervised by Martin Angelin-Chaab. Next, we have David Mirza, low carbon material for 3D printing construction, supervised by Ramona Fayasfar. Ethan Gannett, radionuclide transport in reactor vault concrete, supervised by Glenn Harvell. George Mensa, a detailed analysis of Ontario Tech's GHG emissions, supervised by Dan Hornweg. Habiba Shafi, effect of neck vibration on upper limb sensory motor integration, supervised by Bernadette Murphy. Haji Suleiman Kadari, enhancing CubeSat security, a tiny ML approach to anomaly-based intrusion detection, supervised by Khalil El-Khatib. Haresh Bachu, development of a wearable mouthpiece for tongue movement monitoring and sleep apnea therapy application, supervised by Zia Sadatnia. Haley James, examining the influence of simulated job rotation on muscle fatigue during complex tasks, supervised by Nicola Delfa. Joycelyn Aniag, exploring the cellulose circuit, supervised by Janice Strapp. Jinbin Cheng, 2 projects, very exciting. Uriel++ feature selection based on ant colony optimization. And number 2, rethinking what matters, effective and robust multilingual realignment for low resource languages, supervised by Annie Lee. Congrats. Lauren Olivier, prototyping customizable immersive onboarding experiences for skill development, supervised by Alvaro Quevedo. All right, next we have Lucine Avanesian, intermolecular, first one I messed up, intermolecular complexes, properties and processes, computational modeling, supervised by Fedor Normkin. Miles Forint, strategies for cleaning autonomous vehicle sensors in adverse weather, supervised by Martin Angelin-Chaab. Nawal Saleh El-Shami, bovine red blood cell physiology, supervised by Syed Qadri. Nicholas Farron, simulations of early galaxies, supervised by Joseph McMillan. Oscar Langhorst, capturing waste heat from steel mills, supervised by Brendan McDonald. Next up, we have Pratika Lally, developing an approach for microbial and viral monitoring in urban surface waters, supervised by Andrea Kirkwood. Rushta Khan, development of a voice-driven requirements elicitation tool, supervised by Sana Alwidian. Rushiraj Sin Rathod, development of a voice-driven requirements elicitation tool, Sana Alwidian. Srivatsan Chakravarthi, modeling and experimental testing of plasma-based waste treatment, supervised by Hossam Gabber. Okay, Stephen Gallatin, investigations into novel forms of high-speed robotic manipulators, supervised by Mitchell Rushton. Sultan Islam, experimental flow control in aerospace applications, supervised by Atif Mohani, sorry. Next, we have Yara Mahmood, machine learning-based test case elimination in continuous integration environments, supervised by Akramal Azim. All right, and next we have Zain Syed, graph neural networks for recommendation, supervised by Amirali Abari. Okay, fantastic. So thank you all. That is all of our student award recipients for today. So on behalf of the Office of the Vice President, Research and Innovation, and the Office of Research Services at Ontario Tech, our heartfelt thanks and congratulations again to each of our outstanding 2025 STAR, NSERC CIHR, and SHRC USRA recipients. We could just give them one final round of applause. So I would now like to introduce our closing speaker. Patil Mixiartinian is a proud alumna of Ontario Tech who has gone on to pursue 2 masters in the health field. Patil currently works for Colorectal Cancer Canada, where she works on fascinating research projects while advocating for the health needs of vulnerable groups. In her spare time, she enjoys biking, painting, and attending theatrical shows. Patil is also the immediate past chair of the Ontario Tech Alumni Association Council, as she has just finished her term volunteering with the alumni. A round of applause for our closing speaker, Patil.
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to welcome you all here today to celebrate your research endeavors. My name is Patil Mixiartian, and I'm here to give you some closing remarks as well as some inspiration to continue to conduct research in your future roles. As Kate mentioned, since graduating from Ontario Tech with my Bachelor of Health Sciences in Public Health, I pursued my Master of Public Health as well as my Graduate Diploma in Applied Health Sciences. I recently graduated from my Master of Health Evaluation degree this year. My key passion in pursuing health services research is to serve as an advocate for vulnerable groups, to ensure equitable access to health services, as well as to promote the early detection of diseases, specifically cancer. Currently, I work for Colorectal Cancer Canada. In this role, I have the opportunity to collaborate with researchers across the world and conduct studies related to the experiences of colorectal cancer patients and healthcare professionals in order to identify gaps and improve cancer care services. One of my most recent studies is focusing on the health beliefs related to the perceived benefits, barriers, and cues to action with using a stool-based test for colorectal cancer screening. This study will help understand why average risk adults in Canada are not getting screened for colorectal cancer, as the national screening target is 60%, but no province or territory currently meets this benchmark. Early detection for colorectal cancer is key for improving outcomes, as the 5-year survival rate is 90% when caught early, so tests like stool-based testing can save lives and lead to better outcomes. This research is important for understanding the underlying health beliefs and attitudes toward colorectal cancer screening, especially among under-screened groups, and will hopefully lead to developing targeted strategies to improve and hopefully improve colorectal cancer screening rates across the country, so we can make sure that colorectal cancer is caught early when it is most treatable and beatable. Additionally, I work on pan-cancer studies related to access to molecular profiling and innovative cancer treatments such as targeted therapies, which can provide patients access to personalized treatments. Specifically, my work involves exploring the knowledge and experiences of patients and their caregivers regarding biomarker testing, which is a key component and barrier to gaining access to innovative targeted therapies for cancer treatment. Health research is vital in that regard. There are so many different types of employment areas that you can explore in this field while pursuing research, which can truly make a difference not only within the health system, but the lives of patients and their caregivers. As researcher and inventor Charles F. Kettering once said, research means that you don't know but are willing to find out. On behalf of your fellow alumni and the university, your passion and drive for research has made Ontario Tech the leading university that it is today. We hope to see you participate in future research initiatives in years to come. I'd also like to thank Akansha Parekh and Kate Gambier for organizing this great event and bringing together so many amazing minds across all of the faculties at Ontario Tech. These types of events are crucial to promoting research and celebrating the successes of our students. Thank you all.
So thank you again, Patil, for bringing greetings for us. Congratulations. Another round of applause for Patil Mixiartian. All right, so next we're just going to announce our student video submission winner who gained the most votes on our competition this year. For anyone who's not familiar with the program, we asked our student researchers to submit a 3MT style video this year, which are up on our YouTube page. So take a look at them if you have not already. They are fantastic. So the student researcher pursued a very interesting topic this year and submitted an outstanding video. They are a second-time URA Award recipient. And it's quite shocking if that doesn't tell you who it is, because there are some multiple second times in this room. So this person is actually also paired up with the same supervisor again this year. So their research topic was strategies for cleaning autonomous vehicle sensors in adverse weather. Congratulations to Miles Forint. Please come on down and get your gift. play the video? So we're just going to play you Miles' video. So just give us 1 second to cue this up.
Advanced driver assistance systems, such as lane keep assist and future driverless vehicles, rely on cameras to see the environment. This is a problem when it rains. Unlike humans, computers struggle to differentiate rain on the windshield from objects in the environment. It doesn't know if that little thing it sees is a rock on the road that it needs to avoid, or just a little raindrop blocking its view. This is especially dangerous in situations with high speeds, where sudden braking or improper evasive maneuvers can cause crashes, or near pedestrian traffic, where not stopping could take someone's life. Hello, my name is Miles Forint. I'm a mechatronics engineering student here at Ontario Tech University. Automotive accidents are a leading cause of death, and I'm proud to be supporting a future with safer roads through my research with the Aerodynamics and Energy Research and Observations Laboratory. So cameras are bad at detecting inherent water drops. What if we could use a special sensor to detect water drops instead and feed this information into the computer vision system? The car would know which shapes in its vision are obstacles to avoid and which ones it can ignore to not make unnecessary, unsafe maneuvers. This is the goal of my research, to develop a novel way to quantify surface adherent water. Unlike other approaches used in the automotive industry, my solution uses the physics of light refraction to detect water drops. This is the same effect that causes camera vision to degrade, making its measurements correlate directly with dangerous sensor degradation. Other state-of-the-art methods either use other properties of water, such as electric conductivity, or artificially change water properties by adding fluorescent dye. While these other methods work great in certain applications, measuring something other than optical distortion causes them to have severe limitations when it comes to quantifying surface soiling or predicting camera degradation. In this context, using these other methods is like trying to measure a person's height using a weight scale. There is some correlation, but large margins of error. I've already validated my detection method in small-scale experiments that prove water can be detected using optical refraction, and I'm currently developing the software and a larger experiment needed to demonstrate viability in real-world engineering development. It is my hope that this work will pave the way for safer driving assistance features that can stay on in the rain, and eventually to fully autonomous vehicles that have the potential to eliminate the vast majority of vehicle accidents. I'm working on this research as a part of the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Sciences Aero Laboratory with support from the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. Thank you for listening.
Fantastic. So congratulations again, Miles. Our next draw, we're going to do a raffle. So we have our... Okay, so our next one, we're going to do our raffle. So everyone, all of our URA students are entered into this. So if you're not here today, just connect with us and we'll give you your prize as well. This includes a donation from obviously our Office of Research Services and also Brilliant Catalyst as well. We'll do our random spinny wheel. Where's Bachu? Fantastic. Congratulations. Fantastic. So we're so proud of all of our students and what you've accomplished these last few months, and we encourage you to stay tuned this fall for the release of the 2026 program details. A final housekeeping note, we'll now be having our celebratory barbecue lunch up on the BIT mezzanine or the UB mezzanine. Remember to bring your lunch ticket for your meal. Now, if you didn't get a ticket because you didn't register downstairs at the beginning, you can register over here and grab your ticket for your lunch. Thank you all so much again for attending today's celebration, and a fond farewell to those attending virtually also. We want to thank our volunteers today. We have Naima Rahim, we have Uzma Patel, Latika Agarwal, Sarah Albishara, and Elisa Beverly. I'd also like to thank my co-event coordinator, Akansha Parikh, as well for all of her support with this event. And a round of applause for these folks. And also our 2 photographers. So we have Tom and Rebecca as well today. So a round of applause for them. Thank you. We'd also like to thank our amazing president, Dr. Stephen Murphy, who joined us today. Thank you. We see you up there. And thank you also to Jen Freeman, Executive Director of the Office of Research Services, and Les Jacobs, our Vice President, Research and Innovation, for their opening remarks and their continued support of our outstanding program. We'd like to thank our esteemed guest speaker, Keisha Diraj, and our closing speaker, Patil Mixiartinian, as well as all of those project supervisors here. Thank you so much, and other honored guests. It's been an absolute pleasure to connect with you all today and throughout this summer, and to celebrate our outstanding undergraduate research program at Ontario Tech. Thank you all so much, and have a wonderful lunch.